All right, settle down, folks. Welcome to the show. Or, well, welcome to Omar's YouTube channel. I'm just here, helping out a friend. My name is Omar, and tonight, or today, or whenever you're watching this, the internet, it's a mystery. We've got a question for you. Ever wondered if you could visit Paris, Tokyo, or Cairo without leaving the US? Well, you can. Let's explore some American cities that share their names with famous international destinations. It's like getting a global tour on a domestic budget, which, let's be honest, is probably more in line with most of our bank accounts. Forget the jet lag, forget the questionable airplane food, forget trying to figure out if you're tipping too much or too little in a foreign currency. We're talking about road trip destinations that sound way more exotic than they might actually be. Or are they? That's what we're here to find out. Think of it as a geographical catfish, but hopefully in a good way. You hear Paris, you picture the Eiffel Tower, romantic walks along the Seine, maybe a mime or two if you're lucky or unlucky, depending on your feelings about mimes. But what if that Paris is in, say, Texas? Does it still count? Do they have tiny cowboy hats on their croissants? These are the important questions, people, and I, Omar, am here to investigate. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey across the good old US of A, visiting places that borrowed their names from some of the most iconic cities on Earth. We'll see if they live up to the hype, or if they're just, a town called Rome in Georgia that mostly has a really good Waffle House, which, hey, isn't a bad thing either. Let's see what kind of international flair we can find right here in our own backyard, without needing a passport or a 12-hour flight next to a crying baby. First up on our grand tour of Is This the Right Paris? Is Paris, Texas. Now, when you hear Paris, your mind probably conjures up images of chic Parisians, the Louvre, maybe some really good cheese. And look, I'm not going to lie to you, Paris, Texas might not have of that. But what it lacks in French accents and existential philosophers smoking in cafes, it makes up for with, well, it has an Eiffel Tower. Yes, you heard that right. An Eiffel Tower. In Texas. Because of course it does, but this isn't just any replica of Gustave Eiffel's masterpiece. Oh no, this is Texas, folks. They do things bigger, or at least, with more accessories. This particular Eiffel Tower, standing proud in Paris, Texas, is adorned with a giant red cowboy hat. I am not making this up. It's like the Statue of Liberty decided to wear a Stetson. It's a bold fashion statement, you have to give it that. It's a way of saying, yeah, we're Paris, but we're also definitely, unequivocally Texas, y'all. The city itself is described as charming, and that's a nice word. Charming can mean a lot of things. It can mean friendly people, nice little shops, maybe a town square where folks gather. I picture Friday night lights, maybe a good barbecue joint. It's the kind of charm that doesn't require a translator app or an understanding of complex metro systems. It's a more down-to-earth, howdy partner kind of charm, and sometimes that's exactly what you're looking for, especially if your French is a little rusty. Beyond the hatted tower, which is understandably a major draw, I mean, who wouldn't want a selfie with that? Paris, Texas, has its own history. Founded in the 1840s, it's got those deep southern roots. You can probably find some beautiful historic buildings, maybe a local museum that tells the story of the town, from its early days to its decision to embrace its inner Frenchman, with a Texan twist, of course. It's a cultural fusion you probably didn't expect. You might not be sipping espresso at a sidewalk cafe watching the world go by, but you could be sipping sweet tea on a porch swing. It's a different vibe, a different pace, it's less ooh la la and more yeehaw, but hey, variety is the spice of life, right? And who knows, maybe they have their own local delicacies. Perhaps a croissant érole or escargot shows. Okay, maybe not. But a guy can dream, can't he? Imagine telling your friends you went to Paris. You show them the pictures of the Eiffel Tower. They're impressed. Then you zoom in on the cowboy hat. The confusion, the questions, the sheer delight. It's a conversation starter, that's for sure. It's a testament to that American spirit of taking something famous and saying, you know what this needs? More cowboy. And honestly, sometimes they're right. So, while it might not be the romantic getaway you envisioned when you first heard Paris, Texas offers a unique, quirky, and undeniably American experience. It's a reminder that names can be deceiving, but sometimes, the surprise is part of the fun. It's a place that doesn't take itself too seriously, and in a world that's often way too serious, that's pretty refreshing. Plus, parking is probably a lot easier. Next stop on our Is This Where I Catch the Bullet train? Tour is Tokyo, Oklahoma. Now let's just manage expectations right out of the gate. If you're picturing the Shibuya Scramble, towering skyscrapers lit up like a pinball machine, and robots serving you sushi, well, Tokyo, Oklahoma, might be a slightly different experience. It's less about the hustle and bustle of 37 million people, and more about, well, the serene plains of Oklahoma. Tokyo, Oklahoma, is one of those places that makes you wonder about its origin story. Who decided to name a small spot in rural Oklahoma after the capital of Japan? Was it a well-traveled founder with fond memories? Was it a misunderstanding on a map? Did someone just spin a globe and point? These are the mysteries that keep me, Omar, up at night, or at least mildly curious during the day. It's definitely a conversation starter at the local diner, I'd imagine. The brief says it offers a unique slice of Americana, and that's a beautiful, broad term. Americana in Tokyo, Oklahoma probably means wide open spaces, a sky that goes on forever, and a sense of community where everybody knows your name, and probably your dog's name too. It's the kind of place where the biggest event of the year might be the county fair, or a particularly good high school football game. And there's a real charm to that, a simplicity that's increasingly hard to find. You won't find the Imperial Palace here, but you might find a really well-kept farmhouse with a big porch. Instead of the Tsukiji fish market, maybe there's a local farmer's market with fresh produce and homemade pies. It's a different kind of sensory experience. Less neon signs, more starry nights, less the roar of the subway, more the gentle chirping of crickets, or perhaps the distant moo of a cow. It's an exchange of stimuli, if you will. Think about the sheer audacity or perhaps the optimism of naming your town Tokyo when you're surrounded by Oklahoma. It's like naming your Chihuahua Zeus, destroyer of worlds. There's a certain pluckiness to it that I admire. It suggests a big imagination or maybe just a really good sense of humor. I bet the local high school sports teams have some interesting mascot debates. Are they the samurai, the ninjas, or do they just stick with something more traditionally Oklahoman like the Tokyo tractors? This Tokyo likely offers a glimpse into a quieter, more deliberate way of life. It's a place where you can probably hear yourself think, which in today's world, is a luxury item. It's not about chasing the latest trends or being at the epicenter of global finance. It's about the land, the community, and perhaps a shared chuckle over their internationally famous, yet locally humble name. It's the kind of place you visit to disconnect from the chaos, not to dive into it. So, while you won't be navigating a labyrinthine public transport system or marveling at cutting-edge technology, Tokyo, Oklahoma, provides its own form of wonder. It's the wonder of the unexpected, the charm of the unassuming, and the quiet pride of a small town with a very big name. It's a reminder that sometimes the most interesting places are the ones that make you smile and scratch your head a little bit. And who knows, maybe they have amazing Oklahoma-style sushi, perhaps a catfish roll. Alright, let's paddle our way down to Cairo, Illinois. Now when you hear Cairo, you're thinking pyramids, sphinxes, bustling bazaars, the Nile River stretching out like a lifeline in the desert. Cairo, Illinois also has a famous river, in fact it has two. It sits right at the confluence of the mighty Mississippi and the Ohio rivers. That's a pretty big deal geographically speaking. It's like the VIP section for river enthusiasts. This Cairo isn't about ancient pharaohs, but it is incredibly rich in American history and culture. Its location made it a strategically important point, especially during the Civil War. General Ulysses S. Grant even had his headquarters here for a time. So while you might not find hieroglyphics, you'll find echoes of a pivotal period in the nation's past. It's a place where the currents of history flow as strong as the rivers themselves. Imagine the hustle and bustle this town must have seen in its heyday. Steamboats chugging along, goods being loaded and unloaded, soldiers marching. It was a vital hub, a gateway to different parts of the country. That kind of history leaves a mark on a place in its architecture, in its stories, in the very soil. It's a living museum if you know where to look. You can almost hear the steam whistles and the riverboat gamblers if you close your eyes. The confluence of the Mississippi and Ohio is a powerful sight. Two massive bodies of water merging into one. It's a natural wonder that has shaped the destiny of Cairo, Illinois. It brought prosperity, it brought strategic importance, and it also brought challenges like flooding. Nature is a powerful partner and sometimes a formidable foe. This town has seen its share of both, which adds to its resilient character. Culturally, a river town at such a crossroads would have been a melting pot of sorts. People from all over traveling up and down the rivers, bringing their stories, their music, their way of life. You can imagine a vibrant, if sometimes rough and tumble atmosphere. It's the kind of place that has grit, a place that's seen things. It's not the Cairo of bustling souks, but it has its own deep, complex soul. Today, Cairo, Illinois, like many historic river towns, has faced economic shifts and changes. But its past is undeniable, and there are efforts to preserve and celebrate its unique heritage. Exploring Cairo, Illinois is like peeling back layers of American history. You can visit places like the U.S. Custom House Museum or Fort Defiance Park, where the rivers meet, and feel that connection to a significant era. So no, you won't be riding a camel to the Giza pyramids here, but you can stand at the very tip of Illinois, where two legendary American rivers join forces, and contemplate the flow of history. It's a different kind of ancient wonder, one forged by nature and shaped by human endeavor and conflict. Cairo, Illinois offers a profound sense of place, a connection to the heartland of America, and its defining moments. It's a testament to the power of location, location, location. Next up, we're heading to a city that shares its name with the cradle of Western civilization, the birthplace of democracy, Athens. But we're not talking about Greece, folks. We're talking about Athens, Georgia. And let me tell you, this Athens might not have the Parthenon, but it's got a vibe all its own, and it's pretty legendary in its own right, especially if you're into music, or college football, or both. Athens, Georgia is a vibrant college town home to the University of Georgia. And you know what that means. Energy, youth, a certain intellectual buzz, and probably a lot of places that serve pizza and beer late at night. It's the kind of town that feels alive, constantly reinventing itself with each new class of students, yet holding on to its historic southern charm. It's a delicate balance, like trying to study for finals during spring break. Now, about that music scene, Athens, Georgia is iconic. We're talking about the place that gave us REM, the B-52S, Widespread Panic. That's a serious musical pedigree. You can just imagine the creative energy percolating in the clubs and practice spaces around town. It's not ancient Greek tragedies being performed here, but modern rock anthems that have echoed around the world. It's a different kind of classical music, you might say. And then there's the architecture. The brief mentions beautiful antebellum architecture. So, while ancient Athens has its Doric columns and temples to Athena, Athens, Georgia, has graceful southern mansions with sweeping porches and grand oaks. It's a different kind of historical beauty, one that tells the story of the American South. You can almost picture Scarlett O'Hara complaining about something on one of those verandas, hopefully without the actual drama. This Athens is a fascinating blend of old and new. The historic buildings stand alongside trendy boutiques and cafes. The traditions of the Old South meet the progressive energy of a major university town. It's a place where you can appreciate a beautifully preserved piece of history in the morning and catch a groundbreaking new band at night. It's like a history lesson with a really good soundtrack. Imagine the conversations. Yeah, I'm studying philosophy in Athens. Oh wow, Greece? Amazing. No, Georgia. But our Bulldogs are pretty Socratic in their defensive strategies. It's a name that carries a lot of weight, and Athens, Georgia wears it well, adding its own unique southern and musical flavor to the legacy. It's a place that fosters creativity and community, much like its ancient namesake, but with a distinctly American drawl. So if you're looking for philosophical debates in an ancient agora, this might not be your first stop. But if you're looking for a city buzzing with artistic energy, steeped in Southern history, and always ready for a good time, especially on game day, then Athens, Georgia is calling your name. It's a place where the glory that was Greece meets the grit that is Georgia, and the result is something pretty special. Go Dogs. Or as the ancient Greeks might have said, go Canes. Dogs, get it? Alright, let's shift gears and head northeast to Berlin, Connecticut. Now, when you hear Berlin, you probably think of the Berlin Wall, Brandenburg Gate, a city with a tumultuous and incredibly significant 20th century history. Berlin, Connecticut, on the other hand, offers a different kind of historical experience, one wrapped in quaint New England charm. It's less techno clubs and more perhaps antique shops. This Berlin isn't about Checkpoint Charlie. It's more about checking out the charming local businesses and historic homes that dot the landscape. New England towns have a specific kind of appeal, the white steepled churches, the village greens, the sense that history is just around the corner, probably wearing a tricorn hat. Berlin, Connecticut fits right into that cozy, picturesque mold. It's the kind of place where fall foliage is probably a competitive sport. The brief mentions a touch of historical significance. Now that's intriguing. What kind of history are we talking about? Many Connecticut towns played roles in the Revolutionary War, or were centers of early American industry. Perhaps Berlin has its own stories of colonial settlers, or maybe it was known for producing something specific like tinware or clocks back in the day. Every small town has its claim to fame, even if it's a quiet one. Imagine the contrast: Berlin, Germany, a city reborn from the ashes of war, a symbol of reunification and vibrant, edgy culture. Berlin, Connecticut, likely a place where the biggest excitement might be the annual town fair, or a particularly contentious town meeting about zoning laws. And you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sometimes a little less Cold War tension and a little more bake sale is exactly what the doctor ordered. This Berlin offers a chance to slow down, to appreciate the quieter rhythms of life. You can stroll through historic districts, admire the well-preserved architecture, and maybe learn a thing or two about early American life. It's a different kind of immersion than you'd find in its European namesake. Instead of navigating a sprawling metropolis, you're more likely to be enjoying a peaceful walk and a friendly chat with a local. It's interesting how a name can evoke such different images. Say Berlin and one person thinks of a techno beat, another thinks of a spy thriller, and someone from Connecticut might just think of home, with its familiar streets and community feel. It's a testament to how places like people develop their own distinct personalities regardless of what they're called. Berlin, Connecticut has carved out its own identity, one of New England resilience and charm. So if you're looking to explore the remnants of a wall that divided a nation, or dance the night away in an underground club, Berlin, Connecticut might not be your primary destination. But if you're seeking a peaceful retreat, a dose of American history served with a side of New England hospitality, and a town that's probably very pretty in the snow, then this Berlin is worth a visit. It's a reminder that not all Berlins need to be sprawling and intense. Some are perfectly content being cozy and historically significant in their own quieter way. Alright, let's grab our shillelaghs and head to Dublin, Ohio. When you hear Dublin, you're thinking Guinness, Riverdance, friendly pubs on every corner, and maybe a leprechaun or two, if you've had enough of the first thing. Dublin, Ohio, leans heavily into its namesake's heritage, especially with its annual Irish festival, which I hear is quite the shindig. It's like St. Patrick's Day decided to stick around for a whole weekend, and then some. This Dublin is known for that Irish festival, and it's a big deal. We're talking music, dancing, cultural exhibits, and probably enough green beer to float a small boat. It's a celebration of Irish heritage that brings the community together and attracts visitors from all over. It's a way for this Midwestern city to connect with the Emerald Isle, even if the closest thing to a rolling green hill is a well-manicured golf course. The brief also mentions a strong sense of community. That's something you often find in these American towns with international names. They build an identity around it, a shared point of pride. In Dublin, Ohio, this probably means a lot of community events, volunteerism, and neighbors looking out for each other. It's the kind of place where people are invested in making their town a good place to live, perhaps with a little Irish luck sprinkled in. Now, how does it compare to Dublin, Ireland? Well, you might not find ancient castles or the Book of Kells in Dublin, Ohio, but you will find a genuine enthusiasm for Irish culture. They've even got a Celtic cocktail trail. I'm not sure what that involves, but it sounds like a good time. It's about embracing the spirit of Ireland, even if you're thousands of miles away and surrounded by cornfields instead of cliffs. Think about the local businesses. Are there pubs named the Blarney Stone or the Lucky Leprechaun? Do local restaurants serve corned beef and cabbage year-round? It's fun to imagine how a town takes on the character of its namesake. Dublin, Ohio seems to do it with gusto, creating a little piece of Ireland in the heart of America. It's a testament to how culture can travel and take root in new places. It's a place that has clearly made an effort to live up to its name, at least in spirit and celebration. The dedication to hosting a major Irish festival shows a real commitment. It's more than just a name on a map, it's an active part of the town's identity. You can almost hear the fiddles and the laughter spilling out from the festival grounds. It's a little bit of Irish magic Ohio style. So, while you might not be kissing the actual Blarney Stone or wandering through Trinity College, Dublin, Ohio offers a hearty dose of Irish cheer and community spirit. It's a place where you can raise a pint, enjoy some traditional music, and feel welcomed, whether you have Irish roots or just appreciate a good party. It's a friendly, festive city that proves you don't need to cross the Atlantic to find a little bit of the green. Slanted to that, too. Our final destination on this whirlwind tour of American namesakes is Moscow, Idaho. Now, the original Moscow conjures images of Red Square, the Kremlin, onion domes, and perhaps a certain stoic resilience. Moscow, Idaho, on the other hand, is a picturesque town nestled in the rolling hills of the Palouse region, home to the University of Idaho. It's probably more about potato vodka than regular vodka, if you catch my drift. This Moscow is described as a picturesque town with a lively art scene. The Palouse region is known for its unique, undulating landscape, which is stunningly beautiful, especially when the wheat fields are golden. So, picturesque is definitely accurate. And a lively art scene in a university town? That makes perfect sense. You've got creative students, faculty, and a community that appreciates culture. Perhaps they have a really avant-garde ballet about potato farming. The University of Idaho is a big part of Moscow's identity. Like Athens, Georgia, the university brings energy, diversity, and a youthful spirit to the town. It fosters a sense of intellectual curiosity and artistic expression. You can imagine art galleries, small theaters, coffee shops filled with students discussing big ideas. It's a different kind of red square, maybe more of a quadrangle green where students gather. How does this Moscow compare to its Russian counterpart? Well, the winters are probably just as cold, that's a fair bet. But the political climate? Vastly different, one would hope. Instead of the Bolshoi Ballet, you might have the university's drama department putting on a Chekhov play, which would be fitting. It's less about global power struggles and more about fostering education and community in a beautiful natural setting. Think about the local culture. A lively art scene means you might find independent film screenings, local bands playing, poetry readings, craft fairs. It's a sign of a healthy, engaged community. And being in Idaho, there's probably a strong connection to the outdoors as well. Hiking, biking, enjoying those beautiful Palouse hills. It's a different kind of grandeur than the Kremlin's walls, but impressive in its own way. It's fascinating how these names travel. Did someone from Russia settle here? Was it named by a surveyor with a penchant for European capitals? Whatever the reason, Moscow, Idaho has made the name its own. It's a place where academic pursuits meet artistic endeavors, all set against a backdrop of stunning natural beauty. It's a quieter, more contemplative Moscow perhaps. So if you're looking for St. Basil's Cathedral or a tour of Cold War bunkers, this Moscow might not be for you. But if you're interested in a charming university town with a vibrant cultural life, surrounded by breathtaking landscapes, then Moscow, Idaho is a delightful discovery. It's a reminder that even a name associated with global intrigue can find a peaceful, creative home in the American West. And they probably have some really good fries. Well, there you have it, folks. A whirlwind tour of America's answer to international travel, all without the lost luggage or the questionable currency exchange rates. We've seen an Eiffel Tower with a cowboy hat in Paris, Texas, explored the quiet Americana of Tokyo, Oklahoma, and stood at the historic confluence of rivers in Cairo, Illinois. We've rocked out in Athens, Georgia, found New England charm in Berlin, Connecticut, celebrated Irish heritage in Dublin, Ohio, and discovered the artistic heart of Moscow, Idaho. It's like a United Nations meeting, but everyone speaks English and serves pie. It just goes to show, you don't always need a plane ticket to experience a taste of another culture, or at least another culture's name. These towns, with their borrowed monikers, have each carved out their own unique identities, blending a hint of the exotic with a whole lot of local flavor. It's a reminder that America is a pretty big, diverse, and sometimes wonderfully quirky place. And honestly, who needs the real Colosseum when you've got a giant ball of twine just a few states over? Okay, maybe that's a different video. So, next time you're planning a trip, remember you don't have to go far to experience a bit of international flair right here in the US. Or at the very least, you can get a great photo with a sign that will confuse your friends on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I've been Omar, or at least Omar's scriptwriter for the day, and we'll see you next time. Drive safe and maybe pack a cowboy hat just in case.